Citizens of New Orleans, I'm Ellen Singleton, and you're now being informed by WRYAT, the United States of America's 395th ranked private radio station, broadcasting to you live from a recently renovated Airbnb located off South Carrollton across the street from the recently gentrified Popeyes. You'd love to see it. This episode is brought to you by the Emancipation Station, none other. Free yourself from the liberal media with a daily dose of programming sponsored by the Emancipation Station. You heard me there, folks, and you heard me right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Boat Talk there. This is Donnie D'Amico.
And this is Roddy D'Amico.
And thank you so much for listening to our show here as we barrel onwards with our corporate overlords and industry just begging us to promote whatever the hell they want. I don't know who even cares anymore.
Yeah, they've sent us to so many malls for like store openings and whatnot.
It's weird that they're still well-trafficked, a lot of these malls. It's weird that they're still well-trafficked.
Yeah, I seriously remember reading like articles that says like malls are no longer the thing of the future. It's going to be like Amazon stores. But no, I was so wrong.
Not so much. A lot of people didn't get the memo.
Good Lord. Beds, baths, the things behind those.
Oof. And you never want to go beyond. However, let's go ahead and take that caller there.
All right, caller. You're calling in a Boat Talk.
What's your question?
Hi, this is Shonda LaShonda. I'm calling from a mobile device. I'd like to move into a boat with my family. What's the best boat for kids to grow up on?
That's a very good question.
That is.
Great question. Very well researched and asking for more research.
And listen, before we even begin, I got to let you know, like, childhood is just weird, all right? For Donnie and I, it was, like, super weird.
Yeah.
Because we grew up with, like, a nanny that came over.
She just showed up one day, too. It wasn't exactly, like, normal.
No, like, she was on, like, this, like, weird scooter thing.
Well,
like,
our bigger brother had just moved, you know, overseas to play baseball, which you'd think he'd want to do here. But no, he wanted to do it in Japan, so.
Yeah, he kind of went over there. We were just kind of bummed about it. Like, his ex-girlfriend lived by a dumpster.
And she, the less said about her, the better. But she did live by a dumpster. I think she still does.
I don't know. She takes pictures of it. I bought one of her prints, but it's in the garage.
It was charity. That was essentially charity.
Yeah. But like anyway, like this nanny came over and like
speeding in on a yellow Vespa. She's got like her pink hair waving in the wind, and she just beats the shit out of us with like a Rickenbacker like bass guitar.
Yeah,
just like just starts
right
railing
in
on
the
both
foreheads.
of us. And it hurt like fucking hell.
And like you would think, like I've hit my head a couple of times and like I've gotten a whelp. Like we've all gotten whelps. We've all been 13 before. But this whelp wasn't like a normal whelp.
No, this one was like, it was protruding from the skin, like from underneath.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going to be, something was going to grow out of it. Or that was the hope. She said that like, that's going to be a robot and that thing's going to help you figure out puberty. And I was like, who are you, lady?
What is happening?
This doesn't seem real. Yeah.
Because she kept like telling us all kinds of crazy things. She's like, there's a giant iron in town that's going to smooth the wrinkles in your brains. And we're like, what is happening?
No, and it turns out like we were just severely concussed.
Yeah.
Like she was just essentially abusing us.
Yeah.
But Dad let her live with us because, he was horny.
It was like him and Grandpa, they were just like, ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yeah, things got real. It was not a fun time. I mean, it's never a fun time when your mom dies. It's a really bad time when your mom dies young, and it's the worst time ever when your mom dies and you have a fucking dad. I'll tell you that much.
And then like the weird thing is she just kept wanting us to eat like sour soup. Like I've never had sour soup, and I'm like, I hate sour soup. I don't like this.
I don't like sour stuff.
I don't like this either.
I say it a lot.
Why are you sleeping in our room? You're too old.
I can't see. If I go to sleep, I will fucking die. That kind of thing. You
Yeah.
know, like it was getting very hard to like actually like talk and breathe for a while there with those welts on our head.
Yeah.
That were taking like new forms. Like I had not seen like so many shades of purple and green on human flesh the way I did there. Like this was a disease.
Yeah, and it was weird because I could push it in, but it would come back out.
Oh, it always came back out, and it hurt even worse each time it did.
And every time it did that, like things would kind of go red for a little bit. Like I felt like I got sucked into another world. I was inside of some like giant like phoenix type creature that would come out and just be like, "Rah!"
Yeah, that was essentially the blood clot. Like they told you that was happening, and that would have been really cool, and it was really fun to feel like the phoenix, but Not so much when you wake up in the ER and they're just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, because like we're in the hospital hooked up to so many machines and apparently we're unconscious for 6 months. And here I'm thinking like I'm on top of a roof and I'm like, oh no, here comes like...
I thought I had wooed this babysitter, caretaker, nanny lady.
Yeah.
I thought I had successfully like been able to be like, okay, finally I'm not lonely anymore. But no, for 6 months I'm just in basically a coma.
Yeah, like I thought she was teaching us like how to play baseball and like we're gonna knock a giant bomb in the shape of a baseball into the sky or like fight a giant robot that's shaped like a hand with a gun. I don't know, but it was not.
She
that.
helped me act in the school play. I never acted in a school play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gave us
I never had any desire.
She gave us cat ears and a weird bucket hat.
It was a lot.
That was the only... I swear to God, I can't wear a bucket hat now just because I don't know what reality is.
No, and I don't think we ever will. And it seems to, just ebb and flow. But that's sort of the lesson here, I think. Yeah. I think maybe that's the main takeaway for our caller.
Yeah, because, like, you got to sometimes look at your life and, like, is it alternative? Is it progressive? Is it shoegaze? Or is it, grunge?
Yeah. It could, and the main thing is, who cares if it's life? Who cares if it's for fools? It's not even cool.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, and you make your own reality. And that's what I say to that dwarf man over there who wants to clearly... He's amorous, and I am rejecting his advances. Ronnie, I'm putting up boundaries.
I'm proud of you, Donnie. I'm really proud of you.
It was not easy to get here.
Ooh. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think he's coming... I don't think he's understanding the boundaries you just said, Don.
Yeah, no, we need to call this off right now. Okay. Can you just do the sign off?
Okay, yeah.
Get rid of the dwarf.
Okay, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to do this by myself. Donnie is stepping out of the building. Donnie is fighting the little man now. Oh, okay. Look, I'm going to have to close this real quick. My name is Ronnie. That was Donnie. This is Boat Talk. See you on the water.
Soft touch, firm boundaries, everyone. Soft touch, firm boundaries. Okay, still got to put this guy off.
See you on the water.
The cops don't take our calls anymore.
Donnie, please. No, too much blood.
I'm tired of the commute whenever I want to cross the Pontchartrain.
I have to park on the neutral ground because streets flood in the rain.
The government's all crap, and I got a criminal rap.
You just need a place to be free.
No, you don't. What you need is the sunshine, weed guys, flood zones, and that firework gorilla.
You need the sunshine, weed guys, flood zones, and that firework gorilla. We need it bad. Slidell's got it good. We got 2 hospitals. Drink up like a fool. Come on over to Slidell. You can blow up shit year round. North Shore proud, North Shore grand, St. Tammany Travel Commission.
I'm Chris Newman, and you're now tuned in to Y'all Things Considered. Previously a show on Public Radio Now, due to recent events, we are a news broadcast produced by Private Radio Now, and that means we give you all the news that's fit to be paid for at WRYAT. A filmmaker returned to New Orleans recently to document the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. He interviewed residents who all said one thing: who's asking? Police are considering revamping the 90s DARE program, where they teach children in school about the awesome horrors of drugs. But this time a real junkie will come in and use before asking each child if they have a cigarette. Another female teacher was jailed today for texting nudes to a 15-year-old male student. To be clear, this is still trauma. This will affect his behavior for the rest of his life, as well as horrific wrist injuries from receiving so many high fives. Jefferson Parish Library hosted another drag queen story hour. Children in the neighborhood came to hear Lips Mishevitz read a book, but were surprised when she read them instead. Y'all Things Considered is brought to you by smartphones. You know, the thing you call dumb all the time. In other news, Jeffrey Epstein... Jeffrey Epstein. You know, I could have sworn I had a Jeffrey Epstein joke in here, but turns out it doesn't exist. Satchmo Summerfest returns, honoring Louis Armstrong's legacy with drunk white people trying to dance to jazz. Netflix's Love is Blind is in New Orleans to cast singles for their upcoming season. The casting company are looking for open-minded men and women who are interested in a committed relationship. This will be Mayor Cantrell's 3rd audition. A recent poll suggests that Donald Trump is less popular than ever. When asked about the list of people on the poll, Trump said, "I'm not on any list." An uptown cafe caught fire this morning. That's right, employees. The best part of waking up is filing for unemployment because you lost your job. A new strain of marijuana was recently released in Colorado called Snow White. When ingested, the user becomes happy, then dopey, then sleepy because they're all allergic, then grumpy because they're sleepy, then bashful, which is just anxiety, and they have a panic attack and think they need to go see the doc. Turns out all users feel the same way. It's a small world after all. Y'all Things Considered is sponsored by NOLA Discount Dental. When you don't have enough money or teeth, we're here for you. A drag queen fight broke out on Bourbon Street outside of Oz last night. The queens were charged with second-degree wig snatching and assault of throwing shade. When detained, the two were given their Carmen Miranda rights, which include anything they say or lip-sync can and will be held against them in the court of law, and if you don't have a fabulous outfit, one will be assigned to you by the court. A man was shot in the French Quarter yesterday. Sources say he was shot for accurately guessing where the gunman got his shoes. Popular gas station destination Buc-ee's has developed a new line of feminine products to pair with its theme. That's right, ladies. It's Buc-ee's Beaver Dams. I've been Chris Newman with Y'all Things Considered. Stay informed and stay tuned in to WRYAT.
Welcome back there, folks. We're going to pause our current programming to remind you that you're listening to WRYAT. Nothing changes, baby, and nothing ever should. New Orleans' 395th ranked private radio station presented by the Private Radio Now Network. This episode is brought to you by none other than the Emancipation Station. The symbol of freedom is the bald eagle, but the sound of freedom is WRYAT.
And now for another entry in our series, Letters from the Time Capsule, where we do a reading of a historically significant letter in New Orleans history. Today's entry is a series of written letters exchanged between rapper Juvenile and his producer Manny Fresh in the spring of 1998.
Dearest Manfred Fresh, I had the dream again. It poured oil in the raw and festering wounds of my longing, and I can still at times feel strongly the beauties grinding against my core, cheeks flapping like the bleak December wind. The roll of jiggling flesh is vibrant in my waking imagination as in slumber. The signs of my unconscious mind can no longer be ignored, and that is why I submit to you this premise. It is with a sense of sublimity and majesty that an ass does back up, and the girl outwardly wielding that ass does indeed look good. It is time, I think, for an ode. What say thee? Sincerely, Juvenile.
Dearest Juvenile, I surmise this girl was in actuality the Green Fairy, or perhaps the product of laudanum stomped with baking soda. Ha! If, however, you do indeed feel the warming wriggle of an affectionate female agent, keep regard for your privacy, or perhaps you might suffer the alienation of esteem from your baby's mother. All humors aside, this vision stirs within me the hope for an anthem in G major, with no fewer than 96 beats per minute. What more details can you impart? Humbly yours, M. Fresh.
Dearest MF, I will have much to say with the song about my muse and her ever-advancing buttocks, and in the true spirit of open discourse, I find it important to start with anticipating any questions she might have. To wit, is my muse working with some ass? Yes. Is she bad, with bad meaning good? Yes. Is she going to ride in the Jag? Yes. With that ass? Oh, yes. Am I sweating in my drawers? Verily, yes. Do I want to walk it like a dog? Yes. Do I want to break it off? Yes. If I get mine, will you get yours? Yes. But also, if a girl vexes my nerves, I will indeed put her on the side of the cobblestoned road. But these maidens know this, and it shows. Yes. I'm also considering addressing the topics of flipping player haters and smooth ghetto broads. But I don't know where I stand on these issues quite yet. Write to me any preferences you might have in response, and I will arrive at my positions presently. Sincerely, Juvenile, dictated by a diminutive Wayne.
Dearest Juvenile, the only goal I would like to achieve with this sonnet is to see if we can rhyme lonely with horny, and furthermore, horny with money. I'll admit that this is an indulgence, and a shallow one at that. But that is what the Rhapsody game is about. In addition, I suggest we round out the collection with a verse from the littlest of Waynes in our coterie of Waynes. We can compensate him in Sprague and codeine. Godspeed, and may the money always be cash. Sincerely, MC ver resnetibus, the freshest of man.
Thanks for listening to Letters from the Time Capsule. Please join us next time when we air a 2012 recruitment letter from the New Orleans Hornets to Big Frida, inquiring about how to improve the team's bounce abilities.
WRYAT presents A Lasting Moment in the Big Easy. Remembered always and captured forever, WRYAT has exquisite jewelry pendants that capture the true meaning of New Orleans. Pewter catch basin covers with gold and brass casted gas station cups, and years of leaves covering the intricate work of the source of most of your street's flooding problems. Or a radiant depiction of panhandlers standing on the exit ramp leading to downtown. These golden brooches show off their straight-to-the-point cardboard signs, as well as leave anyone uncomfortable to look at that piece up close. Or the marriage of style and technology with our diamond-studded necklace that has digital readout of the current murder rate in the city. So when you find your piece of authentic New Orleans jewelry, you won't let it slip away like our coastline. WRYAT. If it's NOLA, we will make jewelry about it.
Oh, hello to all you small adults out there. It is me, DJ Loop Guru, and normally I do the musical calendar, but today we're gonna be doing something different. Since all the local clubs are closed down for a deep cleansing, instead, I like to share something that's very special to me and the city. That's the history of the jazz. When was the jazz music created? That's a question many jazz heads and people who are new to the sounds of it frequently ask. The beginnings of the jazz actually dates back to the days of Jesus Christ in 20 BC. Slow forward a few years now, New Orleans was still a swamp at the time, but that didn't stop the locals from meeting up at the Bongo Square, a space where musicians would gather and play music and trade wares. These gatherings brought together people from a wide array of countries, each introducing a bit of their nation's unique sound to the mix. The Italians brought spaghetti and guitars. The Irish brought potatoes and the mandolin. The French brought mimes and the horns. And the Africans brought banjos. But then they also showed everyone else how to play the music correctly. Wonderful. Over time, the blending of the African music and the Caribbean music was joined by the marching band instruments. See, the marching bands were highly prevalent during the formation of our country. St. Augustine being the most popular. You see, they were from Florida and introduced many people to various brass instruments, and the united sound eventually formed the genre known as the raggedy time. the influence of New Orleans music with its rich cultural exchange and ethnic diversity played a crucial role in the development of the jazz. After the War of the States, formerly unpaid musicians from throughout the American South brought blues to the boot of the nation Louisiana because they were still sad about not being treated the same as white musicians who, again, could not play instruments correctly. In time, all of these sounds melded together, leading to the genre that became the jazz. Ultimately, exactly when the genre known as the jazz began is a bit debated, but I'll tell you a secret, New Orleans. Your good friend Luke Garou knows exactly when the jazz truly began. When it comes to who invented the jazz music, most historians consider Buddy Bolden. He was a cornet player who just so happened to be best friends with my great-great-great-grand-uncle Jazz Garou. See, Buddy was a band leader at the time, and my uncle Jazz was a barback at the club that Buddy would play at. During their time together, Buddy would hear my uncle yelling, and he would be chasing the abundant amount of rats that plagued the city during the 1920s. See, Bobby then took the sound of my uncle's yelling at them rats and the sounds of the victim rats screeching and they're carrying on. He took that sound and then he polished it for the stage, even naming the new genre after my uncle. He called it the jazz. You can tell it by its three distinct elements. See, we got syncopation, we got improvisation, and then there's that third thing. See, sometimes jazz is about the things you don't list. At a minimum, Buddy Bolden was a musician that spearheaded the genre after playing in Storyville at night. But locals at the time knew the sounds as my Uncle Jazz's rat screams. Wow, there aren't any known recordings of Jazz Garou's haunting echoes of rat murder. His sound was said to feature the improvisation traditionally associated with the genre. Here's an example. Jazz. However, Buddy Bolden wasn't the only musician who fell in love with the sound of jazz's blood-curdling rodent howls. The other early pioneers of the jazz music of the time, they included Full-Bred Carey on guitar. You see, you got Crunk Johnson on the alley car, and we got Slappy Joe Oliver on the dinner spoons. See, Creole jazz musicians, you see, like Jelly Roll Senior vocals. He did some just only vocals. And then we got Eddie Keepart, finger snaps. He did some skin slaps and some body hand boning. And then Sidney Saloon, with his telltale fart flute, also shaped this genre. As one would expect, many of those musicians blended various musical traditions featuring beats from West Africa and the Caribbean. You got European classical instruments and many other sounds with the original howls of my great uncle Jazz Garou. Now, there are several types of jazz, which I now will list. See, you got cool jazz, you got Latin jazz, you got hot jazz, you got cold jazz in the winter, you got tropical jazz, you got BBQ jazz, you got acid jazz, you got jazz kebabs, you got jazz Creole, you got Creole jazz, you got jazz gumbo, got pan-fried jazz, you got deep-fried jazz, you got stir-fried jazz, you got pineapple jazz, that's Caribbean jazz, you got lemon jazz and coconut jazz, you got pepper jazz, you got jazz soup, you got jazz stew, you got jazz salad and jazz potatoes, you got jazz burger and jazz sandwich and free jazz. We all know that's not free. Somebody's paying for jazz. See, that's about it. Hope you learned something. And if not, that's okay. Hey, because I'll be back soon with a musical calendar. Just stick by the radio. Till then, be kind to yourself and let's howl. Howl!
Hey guys, this is TEDx. It's your boy Tower Murphy, and I'm on a journey, blah, blah, blah. And I call my exes and I let them know what they did wrong, yada, yada, yada. Who even cares, dude? Listen, I need to come clean with someone. It's tearing me apart and I can't even think straight, dude. Like, I seriously messed up and my soul's dirty, dude.
Sorry to interrupt, but Ted, I mean, we can get into that. I mean, for sure, but we're just jumping in with no introduction here, dog. I mean, do you want to, like, I don't know, like, take that again?
Steve-O, my fans already know me, and today's too important to waste any time giving them my backstory. I wronged someone, dude. I did someone bad, and I need to atone, dude.
Okay. I mean, sure, it is important to seek forgiveness. You know, it helps us to become better people, and,
Dude, shh. Quiet down, all right? It's ringing, all right?
Yeah, sorry, dog. Sorry. We started so fast that I got lost, and now I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
Hello? Ted?
Hi, Staso. It's me, your boy Tower Murphy, your brother's mentor, remember? I basically have raised him since he was 17.
Wait, is that Stacy? Why are you calling my sister, dog?
Remember, we dated for a hot, passionate time. It was real hot and steamy.
No, I don't remember that at all. Like, nobody ever told me about that, dog. Like, Tedward, what the funky Kong are you talking about?
Remember, dude, I showed you all that cool artwork we, like, talked about, philosophy and whatnot.
Oh, hey, Ted. I remember. You showed me the Final Fantasy X concept art and explained the plot to me once. How are you? You still running around with my brother?
I still tear up over the ending of that game, dude. That shit was deep, you know? Listen, Staso, I called you today because you and I both know we were together in the past.
Technically.
What?
Steve-O, calm down, dude. Be an adult. Now, Staso, before the magical night on the couch in your parents' den, you were an innocent woman who never knew the touch of a man. And after getting your permission, I guided you through the art of lovemaking. I took it slow because you were new, and I wanted to be respectful since I was your first.
Yes, we did have sex. And no, I was not innocent before then. And no, you were like my fourth. I was 23 and I was feeling a little good, and I thought you were kind of cute, at least for one of Steven's friends anyway.
Exactly. Steve-O was my best bro. He was your biological related brother. You were forbidden fruit, and I took a bite of the apple, dude. But I should have known better, because I was your older mentor, just like I am with Steve-O.
Please don't make that comparison, dog. I am profoundly uncomfortable right now.
Ted, I am 3 years older than you. If anything, I was teaching you, especially about the whole thinking biting me like an apple is a good thing. It's not.
You bit my sister like an apple? Oh God, oh my God, I can never have applesauce again.
Listen, Ted, you were sleeping over and we had you on the couch. I came home and you were looking cute playing my dad's old SNES, and then you went on and on about death and rebirth, and I thought you were cute trying to sound deep and whatnot.
'Cause Final Fantasy X is super deep. Totally underrated. I'm thinking about crying about it again later.
Sure. We hooked up, and I should apologize to Steven because he was passed out on the floor, but it was a one and done thing.
I was in the same room? Dog, I'm gonna need like 6 different kinds of therapists after this. What the hell fuck is wrong with you two?
Ted, we both had fun that night, so no worries. No need to apologize or feel bad. You are sweet, but I never wanted this to mess up what you have with Steven.
Right, yeah, never. Only except for that one time when you decided to do it on the living room couch while I was sleeping on the floor. We grew up there, Stacy. We have memories. We had Christmas in that room every year.
Listen, I'm calling you today because I need to atone for my sins, Staso.
Okay, well, I forgive you, if that helps.
Oh, dude, I don't need to atone to you. I was hoping your dad was home. I need to apologize to him.
Dog, for the love of God, after everything I've found out today, please don't tell my dad you hooked up with my sister on his couch.
Listen, still sweet and actually kind of creepy and weird and very misguided, but 100% not necessary.
Dudes, please, be adults here. Do you really both think I would tell your dad about me tenderly and passionately banging his daughter on his couch at his house while his son was passed out on the floor next to us within a half an arm's reach?
God damn it, I hate you, Tedward. I hate you so much.
Get your minds out of the gutters, dudes. I need to apologize to your dad for saving over his Zelda file on the SNES. I was a little high in your living room and Steve-O passed out at around 9:30 like always. And I was awake and bored, looking for something to do. SNES caught my eyes and I got all nostalgic and whatnot, so I started playing Zelda. Link to the Past, dude. Not quite the tearjerker Final Fantasy X is, but still an all-timer. I got pretty far until you got home, Stay-So, and that's about when I Nintendo switched from the SNEX to SEX.
Just stop. Everything needs to just stop.
Look, I didn't mean to, but the next morning I realized when the time came for me and Stay-So to do God's most natural and beautiful thing that I hastily quit the game. In doing so, I saved over your dad's progress and error, dude. I'm so ashamed. He has spent so much time mapping out the game and everything. He was so close to getting 100%, but I took that away from him, dude.
Yeah, you take a lot away from people who get closer to 100% than you ever will.
So like Stacy, can you give me your dad's number so I can call him? I owe it to him, man to man, to Elfman. The Elfman is linked, dude.
Ted, you are so adorable. Listen, if it makes you feel better, I will let him know. He hasn't played that game in years, but if it comes from me, he'll take it better. But Tedward, I have to ask you something too.
Shoot, dude.
If you saving over my dad's Zelda file was the thing that's been tearing you apart all of these years and not the night we shared together, why didn't you just ask Steven for Dad's number?
You know, that's a pretty good point, dude. Steve-O, I could have just asked for your dad's number all along. You never even had to know about any of this, dude.
Nope, sure didn't. But at least now I can never forget it.
Ah, well. All the same, it was nice talking to you again, Stay-So. Hope I didn't bother you.
Oh, no, not at all, Ted. I really enjoyed reconnecting with you, and I'd like to keep doing it.
Me too, dude.
Great. So, how about I get you to come over and maybe you can show me around the castle? Maybe help another princess out?
No, dog, please, no. Please, somebody make this nightmare end.
Hell yeah. Listen, I have a whole theory about Final Fantasy VII and how your girl didn't really die. And if you know the right mana combination, you can bring her back, dude. When would you like to meet up, Stay-So?
If you're free tonight, come over. Same house, same living room, same couch. Bye, Ted.
All right, folks, I need to go and shower and pull out my notes. This has been your boy Tedward Murphy with TEDx, along with my sidekick and wingman Steve-O.
No, I think I'm just gonna go walk into traffic. I'll see you later.
Come on, dude. Remember what I said about being mature? That's a dark joke, and I don't think your audience would, he actually left, dude. He's fucking gone. Maybe I should go check in on him, make sure he's okay. But time is a factor, and I gotta get home and get ready because I'm totally hooking up tonight, dudes. Good night, everybody, and good luck. Steve-O and Tedward out.
Welcome back there, folks, and you're very, very welcome for today's episode of WRYAT, presented by PRN and brought to you by the fine folks at the Emancipation Station. Freedom isn't free, but this radio station is, for now at least. Time's up, New Orleans. Goodbye!